Hi, Shane Saracen. It's time for Thursday Thoughts. Today we're going to talk about a drummer that I casually mentioned last week when I was talking about Charlie Watts. And this drummer is a field drummer to me, and I throw him in this category. And that drummer is Stan Lynch, who played for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. First off, one of my favorite drummers because he rocked it solid. He had an incredible feel. Didn't always do the obvious things, especially when it came to fills, or some of the beats tended to be a little bit unique and everything. And sometimes just took a left turn for what you think would be the normal thing that one would do. He didn't do that. Obviously, all the early Tom Petty stuff is just fabulous. Of course, we all know the tune American Girl. Great drum groove on that, and the ballad with Stevie Nicks that Tom Petty did, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. What a great drum groove on that. So spacious, but using the bell of the cymbal in the very spacious, very laid back, great groove, great feel. Some of the driving stuff, if you want to get down to like Running Down a Dream or something like that, great stuff. But one of my favorite Stan Lynch grooves is the breakdown. And it's kind of like, I heard this mentioned maybe by Greg Bissonette or somebody before, kind of like an ode to Ringo in the In My Life. He did that. Or when he had one hi-hat note in the measure. Tom Petty's song Breakdown, Stan Lynch does a similar thing. He kind of swings it. And it's almost like an ode to Ringo. I had heard that mentioned by somebody else, but it's just a great tune. And it's got some Tom work in it on the choruses and stuff. It's just fabulous. And so Stan Lynch is one of those guys that, to me, is a little bit of an unsung hero. Definitely a field-oriented drummer, but just rock solid. And apparently can play a lot more instruments and stuff, because actually went on to co-write and produce some of the tunes on Don Henley's biggest album. And Don Henley is another one of those great drummers, great field drummers. One of my favorite tunes ever by Don Henley is The Heart of the Matter, and it's co-written and produced by Stan Lynch. And Stan's playing drums on that. And I just feel like it's just so well played. The space, even though it's somewhat repetitive, it's never in the way, it's never obtrusive. It's just constantly backing up and solidifying that tune. And what a great song it is, and great production and everything. So even though he eventually ceased to be a member of Tom Petty's band, and was replaced by another fantastic drummer, and we'll get into him at a later time. I won't even talk about him right now. Stan Lynch has had an incredible career, and maybe because he can do so many different things, he doesn't approach it always from a drumistic view, but maybe from a musician view, which is obviously something we can all learn from. So kudos to Stan Lynch, another one of my favorites. And when you listen to like Tom Petty's greatest hits or something, I mean, if you have a lot of his CDs, you just go back and listen to it and stuff. But when you listen to Tom Petty's greatest hits, we often forget how many good songs that band, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, put out. And all the early stuff up until the last few years was Stan Lynch. And a few years to me, I say that, but I know that, the 90s went by in a flash, and the 2000s and stuff. But Stan was there for a good part of the rock and stuff to me. So kudos Stan Lynch, great player, great drummer, great influence. You could do no wrong by listening to Stan Lynch. You can only do well.